Hello and welcome. Today I will show you how to castle in chess. But first, what is castling? Well, castling is a chess move where the king from his starting position will jump two squares to the right or the left, and then the rook will jump immediately over the king, landing beside it. Castling is the only chess move where two pieces can move at once. It is also the only move where the king can jump two squares and the rook can jump over a piece. And so, in this demonstration, if we were to castle short on the king side, it would look like this: the king moving to g1 and the rook jumping over him. And this is how castling kingside would appear. Or you can go back to the starting position and jump to the queen side, castling long, and it would look like this. Just remember to move the king first, two squares, and then jump the rook over top. And remember, if you castle kingside or queenside, no matter what, the king always moves two, and the rook will jump over, landing beside the king. Kingside and queenside. But before you can castle, there are some things to keep an eye out for. The rules of castling dictate that in order to castle, you must first ensure that you have not moved the king or the rook. Once you move your king, castling is then illegal. And also, if you've moved your rook, you cannot castle to that side. But if you've moved one rook but not the other, you may be able to castle to the opposite side. And so, if you haven't moved your king or your rook, the next thing to do is to clear the pieces out from in between the king and the rook. You're not allowed to castle if there are pieces still in between the king and the rook. And so here in this demonstration, white moves the knight, clearing the way for the possibility to castle on the queen side. And now black moves, leaving him open to castle on the king side. And next, white attacks the king. Another rule to follow in castling is that before you're able to castle, you must not be in check. The squares that you move through cannot be attacked, and the square that you land on after you castle cannot be under attack. So the king cannot be in check, pass through a check, or land on a square in check. Otherwise, castling will be illegal. So in this position, in order for black to castle, he must take care of this checking bishop, and so he blocks with the pawn. Once he blocks this check, he is now able to castle again on the king side. And if we go back with this check, if black would have brought his bishop out to stop the attack, white may then have captured the bishop, forcing the king to recapture, and once the king had moved, he would lose the right to castle. So it was probably better to stop the attack with this pawn move. And next, white may either castle kingside or queenside, but first he will move this bishop, and now this move prevents black from castling kingside, as it is illegal to castle and have the king land on a square that puts him in check. And so next, black develops his bishop and opens the way for a possible queenside castling. And here, white may decide to castle either kingside or queenside. Here's an example of kingside castling, and this would allow black to castle queenside. But if white had taken a different choice and decided to castle queenside, queenside, this move, placing the rook on d1, would target the d8 square, preventing black from being able to castle queenside, as he would have to move through an attacked square. He also would not be able to castle kingside, as this bishop covers this g8 square. And this would leave the black king trapped in the center. And so we have shown you examples of how to castle kingside or queenside. Kingside castling, queenside castling. Just remember, in order to castle, the first thing to do is make sure that you have not moved your king or your rook. Then clear out the pieces from in between the king and the rook. Once you have done that, just make sure that you're not in check, as it is illegal to castle out of a check. Make sure that the squares between your king and the castle are also available, and that you're not moving your king through a check. And then you will be able to castle. Also, it's usually a good idea to move your king first and then jump the castle over the king. Otherwise, if you move your rook first, then it will appear that you made a rook move and did not intend to castle. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I hope this helped you and you understand a little bit more about castling. Thank you.